Dude, walking in was so fun.
I think it's a pretty good idea. Yeah, man. First time for everything.
I've done it. I might have done that before. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not big on like I don't know how to do the like extra stuff that you're supposed to do to make stuff look good.
Like editing? Or you mean like adding texture to the actual video?
That
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you taught yourself this much, though, I feel like you could do the extra mile. You know?
I could, but it's hard to do because I just don't care about it. But I understand that other people do
Sure, yeah.
because that's not like what's important to me.
I don't think your 10 viewers will mind too much if you don't put in extra effort.
Yeah, but two of them might, and then
Oh,
I'm down to eight.
that is true, dude. That is true.
That would suck
That would be pretty shitty.
if I could drop out of the double digit.
Oof. Not
That's a
good, dude.
small club to be in. Pretty prestigious.
Well, it seems like you have a pretty good attitude about it, so keep it up.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. How's that degree feeling? Graduated last week? Pretty solid.
Yeah, it feels amazing. It's nice. It's nice knowing that I'm now like smarter than people.
Right.
You
It's,
know,
yeah.
you can look down on others now.
Right.
That's what I was most excited about.
Really?
Right, yeah, being able to look down on people
Man.
didn't have degrees.
So combine 12 years from K through 12, 13, plus the community college, Wilmington, and App. That's like what? Close to 20 years of
I think
education?
it's 31 years on the dot.
Hit one piece of paper, not including your high school diploma.
Yeah, and I haven't even got it yet.
Man, what a life you've led. They call that the scenic route.
I think others should take my path through the education system.
Yeah.
I think it'll work out grand for them.
I think it'd be really funny if you end up going to work in Raleigh after this, like that's your plan, and then you give up. That'd be really awesome. And then you're like, Mom, Dad, going back to school.
Yeah,
Like, what are you gonna study? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I don't know, dude.
That'd be pretty awesome.
I don't like it out here, so
Dude. Well, I wish you the best, bro. This is
thank
the
you.
last time I'll ever see you, probably. So,
Right now,
yeah.
I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know you were like breaking up with me now.
Sorry, bro.
I thought we had some more time. It's
14
all good
days.
though. I was honestly though, you haven't graduated yet, so I probably shouldn't associate with you.
Ooh, yeah. It's a little dangerous.
I
Not even
couldn't.
including the 6-year age gap between us.
Don't bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not.
Isaac, what podcast are we on?
Like what number?
Yeah. What number are you on officially?
Oh well, for finish the race, this will be like 17,
Okay, that's pretty good.
but off the books,
Like 150.
probably like 127 or
Oh, I
something.
wasn't far off. I was just kidding.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's been so cool, dude. I actually did. I'll be serious now.
That's fine.
I had to get some shit out, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually did this really cool thing, which I never thought of it before, and it just popped into my head. But after I'd done, it was at least like 100 episodes.
Mm.
This one day, I was like just rolling through and looking at them and reading the names of the people and like what we talked about. And I was like just being so grateful for it. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I capture this? Because this is just digital. Like I can't go back to that time. And so then I realized like each time I did those, I took a picture with the person.
Yeah.
So I like ordered printouts of it.
There
And
you
I
go.
have like stack and they're just sitting back in the studio.
Sweet.
But I want to like eventually hang them up at some point. But that was like, I don't know, that was really cool. I was proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think we got a photo last time.
no, I just stopped doing it.
I'm surprised I've been on twice now this early. It's like,
Yeah,
because last episode was probably October, November, like 6 months ago, something like that.
yeah, but you were episode like 13 or 14, I think.
I think it was 12. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it was 12.
So, well, that's right. But
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Do you see yourself doing it even when you're doing sales?
I hope so.
That's pretty cool.
I'd like to. I don't know. Actually, it is going to be tough because like the reason I do it is just because I like talking to people.
Yeah.
But doing sales, I'm going to be talking to people all day.
Yeah, you might get tired of it.
Yeah, but like that's how it is. I'll get burnt out because I don't really like. I don't know. Eventually, you're just like I don't want to talk. you know? So the only time I'd be able to do it would be in the morning after talking to people all day yesterday, or at night after talking to people all day that day.
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to keep doing it. It's fun. It's a good time, but I don't know. Probably out. It's still in my hands. I should do it.
I think you should do it. I think if you had the energy to start something this special, why give up on that even if you have to work a job as well, you know? Like I think honestly, you'll find that you'll want to do it even more because you'll need a some kind of creative outlet to keep
Hmm.
your sanity. You know what I mean? And like imagine the friends you'll make just working with people like minded, you know, like
Yep.
they probably just graduated too, looking to do sales. Maybe not their like lifelong career, but you know, first chapter in that book. So I think it'll work out. I think you'll have more passion for it now or later than you might have now. You know what I'm saying?
I think I will. 'Cause that's how it was when I wasn't in school and just working two jobs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I do miss that. Like that's something I hated about school.
Yeah.
Was like as long as I got my stuff done, then I would let myself do whatever. But like when I was working full time all the time, I was like, these are the things I have to get done,
Mhm.
and work is what I'm doing in between them. And so like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would force myself to find time, and I do miss that. So I'm ready to get back to that.
Sweet.
It is in my plan to keep doing it. Like in the goals that I have, I did write it down to where like I would record a certain amount of episodes. Um, and I do have a great opportunity with the team I'm with because there's a lot of great guys there
Mhm.
that I think like, I could have some good conversations with.
Yeah. I
We'll
mean,
see.
that's the goal. You know,
Absolutely.
at least try and help one person. If you can do that.
What do you think about goals?
I've always had a hard time setting like long-term goals. I can do short-term pretty okay. And I was telling my girlfriend yesterday, I'm better with like short-term planning than long-term planning. Um, just because it's hard for me to like wrap my head around the bigger picture, I think, which is kind of weird because I'm a pretty abstract person. So my head's always kind of anywhere but the present. And I think I made that point last time we talked on the podcast. Um, but I like setting goals. I have a few goals right now. I'm trying to set for myself. I'm living kind of solo this summer, for the first time in my life. Um, so I think living alone is a skill, and that's something I was talking to you about earlier. So just trying to give myself like for the first time ever the space to live alone and like see how that feels. It might feel uncomfortable. It does right now for sure. Um, but I'm kind of in limbo right now with work or traveling or family stuff. So
Are
I'm doing
you
hobbies.
are you more of an extrovert or introvert? Like, what do you think you are?
I think as I've gotten older, I think I've honestly leaned a little more introverted.
Really?
Yeah, which is really surprising for a lot of people when I tell them that, if they ever ask. Um, I would say I'm mainly extroverted in that like I don't mind talking to people. Like I like striking up conversations. I like talking about whatever they want to talk about. But I also like I grew up always like in my own space. Like I always had some kind of alone time every single day to myself, and I preferred that. Um, but I think right now, like at this point in my life, I'd much rather be around people. But that's probably because I'm getting used to living alone, and it's kind of like I said, weird now. So I don't know. I like yeah, I think introverted might be the way to go right now, just because I'm so used to doing the same things over and over again, and I fear change like a lot of people. So in that sense, introverted. But I mean, I have no problem just being personable and
Yeah.
social. I think I thrive on that. I think I'm my best self when I am like kind of acting on those qualities. So that's what I'd say. But I know it's a super complicated answer to such a simple question, but
I mean, no, but I get it though, because like I don't. I feel like I'm a very introverted person,
yeah.
and I'll tell people that, and they're like, That doesn't make sense. Like you seem more extroverted." But I feel like it's just something I developed or felt the need to develop in order to like function. Because like you can only spend so much time alone, and then you're like, "This is, I don't know, it doesn't suck," but you're like, "There's other people out here. Well, I wonder what they think about stuff,"
Hmm.
you know. And
Yeah.
then it's just having some human connection. But I don't know.
No, that's all right. I don't think you're supposed to know all the
Hmm.
time. I think it's honestly just a shift between the two. Like, I mean, there's definitely been periods in my life where I was more introverted than extroverted or vice versa. But I think I'm constantly in the middle, which is like the most basic,
Yeah.
great response you can get from anyone. So I'm
Hmm.
sorry for that, but it's I think that response captures like the complexity of it pretty well. Just constantly shifting between the two.
Yeah.
So
Um, you want to do a cookie jar?
I think so. I
Trying
forgot to
to
ask you
figure
that.
out what's in there.
I don't know. I saw a few notes in there, but I was just gonna ask you that if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead and pull one out, dude.
All right, man.
The last time I did one, it was with Rob, and it was just all about like your ex and how do you get back with your ex and stuff.
Ooh,
Kind of terrible.
interesting. That seems pretty tough, but this one seems pretty good, honestly.
Okay.
It says, "Why are you the person that you are?"
Ooh,
Yeah. Got any ideas for that?
yeah. Because of everything that's happened before,
Right.
and I don't think there's another right answer to it.
Yeah.
I would say everything that's happened before, and then uh, the idea or the mold of who I want to become. And it's like I'm a compilation of every decision I've made before leading to where I'm at, and then
Sure.
striving to be something else is me shifting my decisions and what I want to do and become into that next person. So it's kind of like it's always shifting, I guess.
Kind of like a middle ground, I guess. Is that what you're talking about?
Um,
Or is it more like a linear path?
maybe like a roller coaster.
Sure. Yeah. That's probably a better way to honestly like capture the idea of it. Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Why are you the way you are?
Man, it's difficult to answer with just like one statement. It's just like you said, like so many different things. But I don't know. I keep going back to the idea that like the only constant in life is change. And honestly, I'd say pain is up there as well. I'd say pain is the constant of life. And my worldview has kind of shifted because I used to think that happiness was the constant and pain was just a temporary absence of that happiness.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. But pain, I think growing up, I realized that pain is probably a greater constant where happiness is just the temporary absence of
Yeah.
pain. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I think for me, like I'm the way I am because of my negative experiences. And like I've grown to appreciate the worst times of my life the most. And that's another point I think I've expressed before, not only on this podcast, but like I feel like to a lot of different people. And so just kind of having that realization makes me appreciate who I am. I mean, like you could say you're anything, you could say you are who you are just from anything you do, your hobbies, your values, your crafts, whatever it is. Um, but for me right now, it's just, I don't know, man, just getting to know myself a little more and like just being kinder to myself. I think that's why I am who I am. It's based in kindness and compassion, you know.
Why are you showing yourself kindness and compassion?
So I know how it feels not to do that,
Do
and
you think
how
do you think that helps you grow?
I think you need to kick your ass a little bit yourself to grow, but it's also a pretty slippery slope. And this is honestly a good transition into overthinking, which I think was going to be the main talking point today. Um, but I think you need to have like a little bit of self reflection to realize like what you need to change, but you also can't fixate on the idea that you're not enough right now because then you'll just kind of be stuck in that old rut of thinking, and then you'll actually be able to you'll be unable to change as it is. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder how to do that
Yeah, I mean that's
to
that's
where
the
you
question, man. Like that's life itself, right?
to where you just don't constantly look at yourself as inadequate.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man.
And not like me, like, oh well, fuck I suck.
Yeah,
But just like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna I wonder if there's just this big dramatic like unveiling of transformational energy that strikes you
ooh,
when you're like,
yeah.
I, I like who I am.
I don't know,
You know?
man. I think honestly, the way you prevent it is just like by realizing that you shouldn't take things so personally. I think life gets a little easier when you realize that everyone around you and in your life is just kind of protecting their emotions and like they're kind of just saying things without thinking of them, and that's fine. That's just human nature. But I think just by understanding that you shouldn't take things so personally, which is a lesson I'm learning now, honestly, that makes it a little easier to digest. Makes
Yeah.
you understand that like I'm okay where I'm at right now. Like I'm not in a rush to change because everyone's on their own path. And like you said earlier before we started, like time is what we created to keep ourselves sane and organized. It's just kind of like an idea. It's not really a thing we have in nature, you know. But it's a really complicated answer. I mean, you could say so many different things about it. I feel like
Yeah. Yeah. It just had, oh, that's what I was thinking.
it's like,
Not taking things personally. I think that's an important concept also for our own thoughts.
yeah,
Actually, I've been doing this Bible study with a few friends. Oh my God. Sound like RFK Jr. right there, dude.
you're good.
And everybody dies in the cemetery. Tell everybody. Um, we went to this Bible study, and one of the girls brought up when she was like, "How do I stop having bad thoughts? Like bad thoughts about myself, about others, just those intrusive thoughts
Yeah,
where you're like, I should swerve my car and hit that stroller or whatever it
man,
is, you
that's
know?"
that's a crazy place to go. But yeah, I guess we all have those kind of
That was
thoughts.
the first thought that popped into my mind,
Damn, yeah, pretty intrusive.
right? Because that would be a terrible thing to do.
Right. Yeah.
And you'd go, like, that comes in, you're like, what was that?
I don't know, man.
But we started talking about it, and the girl that is leading it up, her name's Kiana. We actually did an episode together.
Sweet.
Very wise.
Nice.
Um, she was like, you have to understand and accept that your thoughts are not your own.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just like they can come from anywhere. Doesn't mean they're true. Doesn't mean that they're for you. It doesn't mean that they're coming from other people. It's something that I guess we don't really fully understand,
Yeah.
and we need to accept that we don't understand that,
Hmm.
or they'll take you captive. I thought that was brilliant.
It seems pretty brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been reading a book recently. Well, a few books, I guess. I never read. I hate reading, but I'm trying to get into it just to kind of.
because it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard for people like me who can't read. But I will say, like, I don't know, just like I never got into reading growing up. I think being forced to do it for school so much just killed the desire to do it outside of it. Was totally that's something everyone relates to, I think, on some level. But now that I have this time to myself, I'm like, you know what? It's probably better to spend some time reading a book instead of being on my phone just scrolling all day. And so the book I'm on right now is called "Don't Believe Everything You Think." Just for a book, it's a book for overthinkers. So someone like me. And the main idea, like I read today, was like your thoughts and thinking are two different things. Like the thought is what
Mm,
strikes you in reality. Like if I say to you, like, nice shirt, like that's
thank
you
you.
processing that. It's like, okay, yeah, he said nice shirt. Hell yeah. But if the processing after that is like, okay, what if I look like a dumbass wearing this shirt? What if this font sucks? Like, what if he's just saying it to be nice? Like, it's
Hmm.
all thinking. And so the book talks about like how your suffering emerges from that thinking. It's not the thoughts themselves that kind of hit you because that's what reality is. That's what you have to face every day when you get out of bed. But it's the processing of those different realities that creates your own suffering. And so that seemed kind of genius to me as well. And so that kind of sticks out, like what you were saying, what Kiana said.
Yeah,
You know,
I think there's definitely truth in that.
yeah,
But there's also times when you do need to like, I guess if you can classify it as overthinking, but breaking down certain things to protect yourself. Like
mm,
if some people might be trying to manipulate you, and people do because there are just bad people.
yeah,
Um, like if you're faced with a psychopath or a sociopath or a narcissist or whatever,
yeah,
and they taught you a certain way, and you go, why would they say that? And then you seem like there's a pattern of recognition in what they say and then what they do.
yeah.
But like for a general statement, like a stranger or a friend or whatever, if you just overanalyze everything, you're going to be miserable.
I feel like I've seen that like patterns like that in my own behavior before,
Patterns like what?
like just toxic patterns, like not that exhibit like narcissism or like socio pathology or whatever it's called. But like I've seen like you saying that reminds me of like times in my life where I've like exhibited that, not that level of behavior, but that like kind of behavior to people, that just like is unhealthy in the most basic sense, more concerned with yourself than them, or like doing what you want to do versus what anyone else wants to do.
Do you have like an example?
Not specifically. I wish I did, because it'd be better for the conversation. Um, but
Like
just like
like saying something, like thinking it through, and then go, what can I get out of saying this? Should I structure it a certain way to like gain something from it?
I think I've done that subconsciously before, but I think that's human nature. I'm talking more about
Yeah.
like with my friends, for instance, if we do something, we all have ideas, but we end up doing what I want to do just because I'm the most like verbal with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we end up doing the same things every time we hang out, but it's only for my gain.
Mm.
So yeah, it's kind of like submissive more on their part. So just kind of recognizing that kind of behavior becomes toxic. And then like once they call you out on it, you start overthinking about it because it's very easy to overthink, I think. Um, and kind of goes back to the point we were making earlier, which is like you just feel like you're not in the best spot. You're not as good of a person as you should be. But
Mm.
it's all kind of tied up. It's kind of hard to describe. It's more of a thing where you kind of recognize it when you see it, but you can't really describe it if you're not in it right now.
Like porn.
Sure, yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
That just
yeah, I don't know why you thought of that, but sure.
I just heard somebody like that was their definition of it. They were like, "Hmm, you can't really like define porn, but you know it when you see it. That's the
I think that's
definition of it.
that's Ted Lasso. I think he
Is
ended
that
up.
what it is?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe. Ted
probably.
Lasso's got a lot of gems in it.
Yeah, man, that is true.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that,
But
but
anyways, back to the topic.
sorry.
Now you're all good.
Now I'm overthinking saying that. Like, did your friends confront you about it? And they're like, Eli, like, we do the same thing every time, and it's always your suggestion. Can we do something else?
That's happened before. Yeah.
Well, how did you deal with that?
There's no way to deal with it except just listening to them, honestly. So, I mean, it honestly takes that breaking point, which is like, oh my God, like I should probably listen. Like you have two ears and one mouth for a reason. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go. You
Like,
sound like a Southern mama right
yeah,
there.
man,
Yeah.
exactly. Right. But which is weird because I wasn't raised by the Southern mother, very Northern. But
Really?
yeah, man. But that's a story for another day. Love you, mom. But anyway, I think, I don't know, just putting aside all your thoughts and just kind of listening to someone else in front of you, like that's where the value comes in. Like that's a skill I'm trying to practice more in my life, just by listening to what other people need. Because there have been things in my life that people have said to me that are so offensive that they still ring in my ears every once in a
Really?
while. Yeah. And one of the most offensive things, even though it sounds kind of ridiculous, was being told like, Eli, you don't listen to anyone but yourself. You know, and I've been told that multiple times. Granted, it's been in situations where like people were angry and like they weren't thinking straight potentially, but I mean, the truth comes out in those kind of situations, I think. So hearing that makes me kind of reevaluate where my values lie and
Yeah.
where I should be in my life.
But then I overthinking again. Then you're like, but were they just angry and trying to hurt me?
No, I don't think so. I think I have a harder time reading if people are trying to hurt me. I think I have some kind of like defense mechanisms built up
Hmm.
from being hurt in the past. You kind of just create
Mm.
those walls naturally. But thankfully, I have very good people in my life who help me dismantle them a little day by day.
Yeah.
Like my girlfriend, my parents, my roommates, you, classmates. Just I'm in a place right now in life where like I have good people I'm constantly surrounded by. So I'm very thankful for that. Because I know what it feels like to not have that in a sense.
Hmm.
So
Dude, I sometimes feel like I have like a little Trump in my head.
like Donald Trump,
Yeah, like anytime.
that's awesome.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not awesome.
Because he's always just like, we're gonna build a wall.
Right. Yeah.
We're not gonna let anybody in,
Sure.
you know? And
Yeah.
you're like, but what if we let a couple people in,
Yeah. What if
you
they're
know?
cool? Yeah.
So I want to stop building walls.
Right.
It's so fun to build though, you know?
I guess so. They're just so easy to construct.
Yeah.
Honestly, like real talk. You don't realize that you're building these like defense mechanisms, whatever you want to call it. Because I mean, I just call it
That's what
that.
it is.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you don't realize that it's happening until honestly it's too late. Then you start hurting people.
It's
Because I
always
mean,
too late.
hurt people hurt people. You know.
Mhm.
So
I'm trying
yeah,
to get better about it.
yeah, me too.
Get there.
Yeah. Would you say you're like, I don't know, would you call yourself an overthinker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
That's honestly fascinating.
It sucks. I'm definitely used to be much more of one.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't comfortable being me at all, except around my core group of friends.
Yeah.
Um, and still very thankful for them.
Yeah.
They kept me alive. But like any other time, like I don't know. I felt like I had to. I don't know. I didn't even feel like I had to be somebody else. I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be myself,
Mm,
which I
interesting.
didn't really understand. And I really can't remember when it clicked that I just should be myself, but it happened. And now I'm very okay with it. So
Yeah.
from that standpoint of overthinking, that's done. But then there's other times and other situations where I got to figure it out.
Is it more of like a daily occurrence for you? Or is it just like,
Overthinking,
yeah. Or is it like you experience periods of your life where you overthink a lot and then periods where it's not as bad?
I think it's just certain aspects of my life.
Mm, okay.
Like the biggest thing for me is figuring out and trying to follow what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
And when that's clear to me, I don't overthink at all. And I just do it. I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it until I'm not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And there's other things, and it's always stuff that I come up with and conjure it myself where I'm like, I want to do this. And it's like, but why should you do this?
Yeah.
And then I go, well, because I want this. And it's just that rabbit hole, and you keep going down, you keep rolling down the hill, and eventually you hit the bottom. You're like,
Mhm.
dang, dude, I could have just stayed on top of the hill
Yeah.
and just rolled through it. But it's hard to identify sometimes.
Yeah. I think speaking of just trying to stay on top of the hill, like you don't realize that until after the fact. I think what sucks, what I don't like about myself, there's a few things I don't like about myself, but the main one is that when I do overthink, I get in the habit of nitpicking what already is good in my life and finding reasons to make it weaker.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I've I've done that with people before, and I've done it with my girlfriend now. But luckily, I'm in a place now where like, I'm smart enough and I'm self-aware enough to catch it before it happens. I think for the most part, um, and luckily, I'm with a very patient person who understands me very well. So I think they can kind of see it when it comes, kind of thing. Um, but like just trying to find like ways to nitpick smallest things instead of focusing on like what's good
Yeah, that,
as a
that
way to like test the strength of your relationships. I used to like see a therapist um for like a little bit, not a long period of time, just kind of like get some perspective on things. And like I discovered that I might be an anxiously attached person. Like that could be my attachment style. Like some people are avoidant or like whatever it's called. But I'm more anxious, so I have a harder time like saying goodbye to people kind of thing. But on a very broad scale. Um, so I get attached before people have the chance to hurt me. But then I become so obsessed with the idea of like maintaining that person in my life that I just lose sight of the bigger picture. You know, I start focusing on like the small shit that might piss me off. But I think in those moments you just gotta like step back for a second and realize like, is what I'm thinking worth it? Is it even real? And does it require my attention? You know, I'm not sure you can relate as
I'm
much.
having trouble understanding that.
I mean,
So like
honestly,
how do you get like attached to some, I don't get what you meant when you said I get attached to people before they can hurt me. What does that mean?
I think I may have misspoken. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but like honestly, I hate trying to describe it because it's the kind of thing that I can't even describe that well,
Yeah.
even though I'm experiencing it. Um, I don't know. It's just like you want to, like, it's like you know how people put on a face, they kind of save face when they're like in the starting stages of a relationship. It's kind of like
Yeah.
hype it up and like kind of be this guy that you might not be necessarily. I think everyone does that to a certain extent.
Yeah, me
But
too.
then, yeah, but then once like you're in a relationship, like romantically, I mean, you can kind of let those boundaries down a little bit. You can let your walls down and kind of just be yourself freely expressed. I feel the desire to do that, and I feel comfortable doing that with my girlfriend now. But I think there's some times where I think like I'm not even doing enough. And so the very thought of that makes me want to do things that may be toxic to maintain her from seeing like the real me.
Okay.
That's kind of what I mean by like getting attached before. But
Okay.
once again, it's the kind of thing you don't really describe that well unless you're experiencing it. But I'm thankful now because I'm in a place where I can like I realize whatever my toxic behavior is. Usually it's like I like I don't know, it's weird. I'm kind of a controlling person, I think, and it's hard for me to admit that because like, who wants to admit that they're a controlling person?
Yeah.
But I like having agency over like not only my life, but I think to a great extent that it affects other people's lives as well and their own well being. So I think just focusing on what I can control and just forgetting the rest is honestly the key for that. You
I
know?
mean, yeah, it's you being able to acknowledge that is just something a really controlling person just wouldn't,
Yeah.
because they would just see it as everything has to be the way that I want it to be,
Mhm.
and they don't even recognize that.
Yeah.
They're just putting into their actions just translate from their thoughts, where it's like from a very selfish perspective.
Yeah. Definitely egotistical,
Yeah.
you know?
But
But
being able to recognize it, like the Wayne Lett guy in my life,
right.
um, said that on one of our episodes. We had a conversation, and I brought up drinking.
Yeah.
'Cause he was an alcoholic at a very young age and quit at a very young age. And I was like, "What advice would you give to somebody that has a drinking problem?" He was like, "Well, first you gotta, understand and realize if you do have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So if you going to have a problem with control, it's like, well, there you go.
That's
It,
right. Yeah. I've talked to people about it, not this issue like specifically, but just like I've had friends and like family who's there. That's helped me kind of process my own emotions when I start overthinking because I think I show patterns and people who are close enough to me can recognize when it's starting to come up. Um, it's kind of like a switch that just gets flipped a little bit. So you go from being happy and like joyous and kind of full of life to like a little more moderated, a little more dialed back a little bit. Not that you're not happy, but like you're just more occupied with whatever bullshit is in your brain right now than
hmm
the actual present moment. So like my mom said to me, like, well, the fact that you recognize it is like the biggest, honestly. The next step is just choosing to change. And honestly, I'm starting to think that change isn't like a process you have to think about. It's just something you do.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to think about being better. You just be better.
hmm
You don't have to think about changing for humanity or for yourself or for your community or whatever. You just change for yourself or those people. Just about taking one step at a time to make those actions worthwhile, I guess.
Yep.
So that's what I'm learning now. And I've decided to resign myself to just like focusing on like what I can do, baby. Like nothing else, man. Like just what I want to do with my life. Cause I mean, my time here is precious. And so why would I want to waste it focusing on like silly little emotions that mean nothing in the long
Yeah.
run? Like what matters is love and compassion and kindness. I mean, other
hmm
things too, but I think those three mainly.
Yeah. Because once you do those, everything else starts falling in line.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But I think like with me, like overthinking, I think the reason I suffer so much, like mentally, is because I convince myself that I'm not thinking enough about everything. And
Mm,
that's exactly what overthinking does to your brain. And it
man,
sucks, dude. It fucking sucks. Sorry for cursing. Um, but
that was good.
thanks, bro. Put that on
Yeah.
the clip.
Yeah.
But I think that's honestly the killer, man. Like just overthinking makes your brain, it cultivates you to think that like what you're thinking about, while it may feel worthwhile, it'll never be enough.
Nope.
Like there's always something else to focus on.
hmm
But dude, the fact of the matter is like right now I'm just sitting here enjoying like talking to you, having your podcast, knowing that damn well we're gonna go out later and have a few beers. Like that's what's worthwhile right now. Just like small moments like that. Just like the weather outside for the most part. It's summertime,
hmm
like so things are good, man.
It's hard to beat 75 in Boone.
It is, man. Especially when it rains every day, which I see again coming in right now, honestly. So
Probably is.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like that
Good.
because I think you were asking me earlier about like what areas or how does the overthinking come to you, and that's what it is.
Really.
An aspect of my life where I'm like, am I focusing on this enough?
Good.
And I go, well, you're not. Okay, so then how do I do that? And then it just keeps going from there.
Yeah.
But then I lose sight of everything that matters.
Yeah. I feel like me just saying that now, like I just had an epiphany. I don't know where that thought came from. I forget where I heard it. I remember having it written down. And last year I started this kind of like campaign for myself where I would like write down whatever spoke to me, whether it was like on social media or from friends or family or books or whatever. I'd write it down on my phone and in the notes app, and then go back to my journal later and write that down. So I have a journal full of advice.
Nice.
And I think I mentioned it last time, maybe, and no one has ever read because it's for me only, pretty much. Um, and that was one of the first things I wrote down. Was I think I suffer too much because overthinking lets me think that I'm not processing my thoughts enough as it is.
Mhm.
That's the killer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the catch all right there. So I think just realizing that is what helps.
Yeah. Capturing your thoughts and then letting them go.
Yeah. And also you asked me earlier what helps me process my overthinking. I think like having time daily, honestly, for me, because it can sometimes be that bad. But I'm also thankful because it's not as bad as other people's overthinking. Because like sometimes it'll drive you to insane lengths. But luckily, I'm not like that. Not yet, at least, right? But I think setting some time aside daily to kind of process, just like meditate,
Mhm.
sit with yourself a little bit, just reflect on what life is like right now,
Yeah,
what
being
you want to do.
grateful.
Yeah, man. Gratitude honestly helps out a lot.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
reframing your thoughts to be like, well, this sucks, but also like this part of my life is pretty swell.
Yeah.
Well, let's focus on that instead, and then the rest will kind of subside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things to help with overthinking is thinking of others
Yeah. Yeah.
and like everything you do. Just how will this not to an extent where it's like I have to perform or um I don't know. I don't really know how to put it. But like putting others before yourself will always like benefit you.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Maybe
I,
you can say it better than I can.
I think that's great what you just said. But I remember after the hurricane hit, not to date this podcast any more than we already have, but last fall, when it hit, my professor, who was a climate change, she's kind of an activist, like a self-proclaimed activist. I had her for environmental and then media and society, both great classes in improvement. Well, I guess mine now because you graduated and you're gone forever, but whatever. She gave us some advice because everyone was kind of feeling obviously kind of lost and depressed, especially people who didn't get that affected from the hurricane because they had a little bit of survivor's guilt. Like I should have experienced more, like my classmates did, so I could
Mhm.
be in their same pain level. She said, like, if you guys feel really hurt, honestly, go out and volunteer and help someone else because that will cure your depression. Maybe not cure it, but like it'll help alleviate that pain for a while. And like, if pain is the constant of life and we're not going to escape that, we might as well learn how to surf it a little well.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
stay
something
on the
else.
board.
Yeah, right. Something else my other professor taught me in the same department. But she said, like, I think the act of realizing that you might not be able to help yourself, but you see that you're helping other people makes you realize that I can actually assist myself in ways that I didn't know possible.
Hmm.
So maybe that's kind of what you're saying with that point.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So,
that's that's something that's like struck me more recently,
mhm.
which I don't know. I've always wanted to make others happy because I didn't want them to feel the way that I felt, like when I was super depressed. But
Mhm.
now, like that I'm not, that hasn't gone away.
Yeah, the desire is still there.
Yeah.
That's because I mean, it overpowers any negative emotion. Oh, yeah, like love kind of
Yeah.
trumps all. You know?
Yeah. But that's what I've been thinking more of. It's like, there's a verse, and I can't remember what it is,
That's good.
but it's like what God told us to do is love God and love others above all else. And applying that, that's everything, man. Because if we're not just here to like shoot each other and hate one another and
Nah, man.
cut other people off in traffic, it's like
Mm,
just love each other. You're not here for long. Why are you going to spend it
mm,
hating other people?
true.
Like,
You saying that actually like put a smile on my face genuinely because like that's something I've been trying to live by recently. Because I'll get upset sometimes when I think I'm putting too much effort into a friendship or relationship or whatever more than the other person, and then that's when I find a reason to nitpick whatever their behavior is that
hmm
causes arguments. And so like now I'm resigning myself to doing that and just focusing on the good because there's so much good. Like the more you focus on the good, like you realize how blessed you are to have such great people in your life. And like I feel like I'm on top of the world with people I have in my life right now because I just love them so much. Um, but man, like when you just like put all that aside and you just like you love unconditionally without expecting love in return. You just like love people for the sake of loving them. Like that's when it clicks for you. That's what honestly I think that is the biggest mitigator for overthinking
yeah,
is just doing things out of the goodness of your heart. And like that's something I forgot to do for a very long time. And so I feel like I lost my spark because of that, at least recently. And now we're getting it back a little bit.
good.
So progress is good, man.
Heck yeah,
That's what you want.
happy for you.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. I said it earlier where it's just understanding like what you're supposed to do and trusting that and just diving into it.
I think, well, I'm glad I'm talking to you about it because I think you were dealt a hand in life that not many people were. Not even with your sickness, but with your mental health as well, which is a sickness in and of itself. So how did you learn to go about trusting that process? And were there ever insane setbacks that made you think like, is it worth even trying to trust the process if I am not happy living with my current situation?
Um,
I know it's a lot to unpack,
it is.
but I think those questions are the ones worth answering, you
I
know?
think it was just, I mean, it was all God really, because trust is a really hard thing to do
Yeah,
for me.
sure.
I don't like trusting other people.
Really?
No,
Why is that?
because it's hurt me in the past. And so then I just, whoever hurt me, I paint their face over everybody else's.
Mm.
It's just going to be the same situation again. So why should I even do it?
I've
But
done that, and I've caught myself currently doing that sometimes now. The only advice I can give is just to realize that, man, you're talking to someone completely different. You've let someone else in
mhm,
your life, and there's a reason you let them in your life, and that's because they've shown you what someone in your past has not shown you, and that is probably love and compassion and kindness.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you were smart enough to realize that in the moment when you let them in your life, you're sure as hell smart enough to realize that you should keep doing that now.
Oh yeah,
So
and
keep
it
doing what you're doing. You're good.
yeah, it finally did. Like I do trust people now. I trust them right off the bat now,
That's good.
and until they show me that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Um, well, isn't it like you have to? Well, I guess the saying is you have to earn trust. I mean, earn respect. But earning trust is big too.
It's built. Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. You just have to accept it and go through it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then it's like life doesn't stop until you're dead. Um,
So as
you,
someone who is probably in what I think a lot of people would argue is like the most transitional time of your life right now, having graduated college, being done with education for the most part. It sounds like you are. How do you deal with trusting the process? Just like you said,
yeah, it's just,
placing your faith in it.
yeah, there's things you have to do.
Right.
And we're in the society, um, which means there's stuff expected of us. We have
Yeah.
to contribute to it. That's been true since the beginning of time. It's like you have to go out and kill to eat. They're not going to come and lay in your cave and then
Yep.
die, and they're like, "All right, you can have me now." It's like you have to go get it.
That kind of reminds me of what you asked me at the start of the episode, which was like, would you consider yourself more extroverted or introverted? And I said right now I'm kind of introverted, but that's mainly because I'm focusing more on myself at this point in my life, living alone. Just kind of focusing on what I want to do, hobbies, values, what I bring to the table, and figuring out my future. But I think in high school, especially, I was very extroverted from like 15 to 18 or 19, I'd say. Um, because I always saw value. I found that my happiness kind of emerged from just being with other people, like just helping them or not. Like I was just, if I was in a community with people that were like minded or like even people who brought a different perspective to the table, like I found myself happy because I was engaging interpersonally. And like that fulfills that need. But I'm learning, I feel like I got so good at that skill that I forgot how to focus on myself. So right now I'm focusing on what I need, which is why I say I'm more introverted at this stage of my life. But it is definitely a mix between the two. It's just trying to find that balance
Yeah.
day in and day out. So that in itself is a life skill. It's a challenge. You know, we're all trying to learn. And we're only
Yeah.
given one life to do it. So we're bound to mess up a few times, which is totally okay.
hmm
But
Dude, I
it's
just got hit with a wave of overthinking.
really,
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
man, I'm
Brought
sorry.
me down a little
That's
bit.
probably me. Yeah. Definitely contagious.
I'm trying to get myself out of it now. But
What what are you thinking about?
like the last 20 minutes of the podcast, which I do a lot,
Yeah.
like when I get into it, I'll just start thinking like, dude, why did you say it? Why did you say that? But then I have to remind myself, it's like this is just raw conversation.
Yeah.
It's what it's about. Sometimes you say the wrong thing. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't like before I would just edit it out. I don't like how I sounded there,
Mm.
whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I get it. I mean, it's easy to overthink that, but you're probably just feeling that way because you're comfortable talking to me right now. I would assume you only invite people that you're comfortable talking to onto this podcast because you know it's going to be raw conversation. So you're bound to just be yourself, even
Yeah.
if it's a little like dickish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all have that capacity for it. I'm not saying that you are. You're far from it. For most people I've met. Um, but I mean, it's bound to happen. You know, you're feeling natural. You're feeling in your just state of mind, dude. You're just
Hmm.
here existing, so you're bound to say whatever feels right. No,
Yeah.
I'd say like just try and refrain from like pushing that out. Just be yourself and good things will come. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
You ever feel like you're, hmm,
good one,
huh?
good one, good question. You feel like you're
You like
soft?
that one?
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
What do you think about that?
A lot of things. What comes to mind?
A couple of things.
Right.
And it's not even something that I think about often, but do you ever feel like you're just running out of time? I think it's when you compare it's the thief of joy, right? You look at other
Comparison?
people, yeah, and you're just like,
Yeah.
man, they've done all these things already. I'm just behind.
I'm kind of experiencing that a little bit right now, but I wouldn't say it's like I feel like I'm running out of time, like I'm on the clock or whatever. Um, but I'm surrounded by some people in my life who like they know what their path is. Like they have a plan, they've had it for a long time, and each part of the plan is just a step in a series until they reach their goal. But for me, like I've always, like I said earlier, I'm not really much of a long-term planner. My brother is, my roommate is, my girlfriend is. Uh, People that I'm very close to are entirely different in the way they perceive reality, I guess. I mean, we all are. But I'm much more of a short-term planner. Like, what are we doing today? What's tomorrow looking like? After that, who has a clue? So I feel like I'm okay now because I know that I'm wherever I'm supposed to be in my life. I just got to be where my feet are planted. And like my journey is inherently different than anyone else's journey. So what's the point of comparing it to them? I mean, you and I are the same major, same classes, same professors. We're similar in that sense, but your journey is different than mine. So why compare it? You know what I mean? Yeah. I have 1 year left and you just finished. That's the only difference right now. And I also don't want to go into sales. That's what you're doing though. So
You
everyone's
would be
different.
good at it though.
I don't know about that. You think so?
Yeah.
Why's that?
You're comfortable talking to people.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, maybe like I've been
Like you're a
told like
likable person.
I hope so. Okay, cool. I appreciate it.
I,
Sometimes I don't
yeah.
think I am, but that's human nature. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that. Need the reassurance. Um, no, I think I'm okay knowing that my journey is my journey, and who is anyone else to tell me what that journey is? And I'm just glad I have people in my life that remind me, like, hey, your path is exactly that. Like, you are the only person you're ever gonna live with in your life, so might as well get comfortable to who that person is.
Does
So,
it bother you, and if you've noticed it, does it bother you that people that are long-term planners kind of inflict that on others that aren't? And they're like, you need to be thinking 10 years ahead.
uh, yeah, I think
Because
so.
like I don't do it where I don't think that far ahead.
Yeah,
And I because not because I think it's bad, but I obviously we're different people, but I think it's very prideful to expect that you're gonna have those 10 years. Just because like understanding how fragile life is and seeing like you've probably seen people that like were young and they just died
yeah,
out of the blue. Um that happened to me a lot growing up, and then like lost my best friend in 8th grade.
mm,
And I'm sure he had plans, however far out they were,
yeah,
maybe weekend plans.
sure.
Maybe he was excited for high school or whatever, but I don't know. I when I go, well, I don't know. I'm just kind of excited about next week. I have this plan for next week, but 5 years from now, who's to tell? And I don't tell other people like you shouldn't think 10 years ahead. You shouldn't be doing that. But I feel like the other people that are like, dude, what's your 5 year, 10 year plan? They're just like, you have to have that.
No, I used to be like that. I used to plan everything out to the greatest extent possible. Who I wanted to live with, where, timeline, all that kind of thing. And then when it didn't happen, I realized that it's not sustainable. So I
Yeah.
started focusing more on the present. And even recently, I started losing track of that because just the idea that I have 1 more year left. It's my last summer in undergrad, you know. there's not many people up here with me hanging out because everyone's back home either working an internship or getting a summer job or whatever, and I'm in limbo. So I'm not really on the same page as anyone else around me, which is okay because I offer a different perspective to the table. But when people assume that, I think people assume that it's just laziness. It's not thinking about the future enough. That's kind of the bummer about it. But when in reality, it's not that they're unable to see that I'm thinking differently. It's just like they're missing the fact that I'm a different person and I have a different timeline. So like it does get hard when I'm surrounded by people who have a long-term plan. They have goals in mind. They have a process by reaching that plan and they know where they're going to be because that's their life timeline. Like they've realized that at an earlier age. But like we're all the same age and I'm just not there yet. That's totally fine. I think it only sucks when people assume that it's out of laziness, um, which doesn't happen often, but it's happened before. And it will probably happen again because that's just life. But I mean, man, you just gotta kind of ignore that, honestly, and you just gotta focus on yourself. I hate to say that. I hate to say you should ignore what someone else is telling you, but there is a time and a place when people should say things to you, and there's a time and a place when you should, have some boundaries and
Yeah.
respect yourself more than what they're saying. Um, but that being said, I have very supportive people in my life, and so I feel fine not knowing where I should be right now because people who are older than me are telling me that it's fine because they've been there before. So
Hmm.
I think the experience will come with time. It's just I can't really rush the experience. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I mean, what good would it be if I rushed the time? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to leave much of an imprint on me if I just rush whatever I'm doing in my life. You got to be patient with it and just learn as you go. So
But like, do you think people like the people that do try to not even I don't even think it's mentoring. I think they call it that because it makes it more comfortable for them to express their ideas. But when they're just like you have to be thinking so much farther ahead. And obviously, you have to be responsible and like if you go rob a gas station or whatever, you're not thinking far ahead.
yeah,
Just like this is what I want right now, and you're going to suffer the consequences of that.
right.
But like having it down to where, like, well, you have to. If you go here, where are you going to go? Like, you're gonna climb the ladder here. You're looking for this type of role. You're going to go do this. And don't forget to do all this other stuff in between because that'll lead to the goal of the 10-year thing. And I think a lot of people that do that, which you said
Hmm.
great, when just like when you did look far ahead and plan there. If you didn't get there, you were like, oh, so it's sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
So it's not like to where it's like, well, what's the point then? Because you have to have that outlook of big, man, I don't know. I'm very conflicted with this lately.
it's okay. I think what I want to say is like if you focus on the future too much, then you're bound to mess up in the present. But the present is what you need to work on to achieve whatever that future plan
Yeah.
is, right? So like if you focus too much on what your plans are like 5 years down the line or so, like if you're only focused on that and you fail to focus on yourself, your relationships, your classes, whatever it is that you're doing in your life right now as it is, like you're gonna fuck that plan up.
Yeah.
Like that's bound to happen. And I've done that before. And so like having learned from that, I just don't want to do it again. So like my girlfriend Braden, like she's a big time future planner. I think right now she's kind of having a hard time figuring out what she wants to do. But I mean, aren't we all? We're all 2021, like about to finish college. It's scary, dude. Like, I mean, I'm sure you were here a year ago with finishing your third year. And I, what she does to me is very healthy in that, like, she'll ask me what my plans are. We'll keep her updated on what I'm thinking, but it won't really go past that.
Hmm.
It won't be like her begging for attention or like, let's be in each other's future. Cause I mean, we both know that we have to travel our own paths to make that sustainable long term for us, which is what we want to do. It seems like for both people. So like if she'll ask me what are your plans? What are you thinking about? I'll tell her like, oh, grad school, like here or there, this major. Might take some time off from work back home or like might go back to grad school, internship somewhere. It'll just be like, okay, what are you telling me? And it won't go past that. 'Cause I mean, like it's honestly just like listening to what someone else has to say about
Hmm.
it. But it becomes easier when if people do get upset with me for not thinking enough about the future, which is not that I don't think enough about it. It's that I think too much about it and don't trust myself for thinking all these thoughts. If they get upset at me, it's because they care. And I realize that now. Like my roommate or my girlfriend and parents like are upset with me for not thinking about my future enough. It's because they just don't want to see me sit up
Right.
or fail. Um, but I'm okay with failing because that's how you get better. I'm not going to seek out failure in my life because why would you, right? But if it happens, I'll be okay with it. Um, I think it's just focusing on your own path. And like, luckily, I'm just like people are smart enough and old enough in my life to realize like we can't really control what Eli does. But he's smart enough to get there by himself. If he
Yeah.
needs help, we're here for him. So that's really all you need.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've just been reading about a book about setting goals,
yeah,
and that's like a big theme in it. And there's some good stuff in it, but a a big theme in it is like your goals have to be extremely precise, detail oriented, like timeline, the exact thing that you want. And I don't know, I just think it's a very prideful way of
yeah,
going through life where you're like expecting exactly what you put into motion to one work out and then two be uh like what's the word, fulfill you once you
yeah,
get there.
yeah.
And there's a lot of people that you can seek out and talk to and listen to, um that had those plans and they got there and they go, well, what's next? And they're just like their whole life is just building up
Series.
to this next bigger thing, this next bigger thing, and every time they get it, they just need more.
That's yeah. I think goals are kind of bullshit. If I'm being honest with you. I mean, the amount of times in school you're asked to fill out a sheet of like 5-year plan or where do you see yourself in this amount of time? Like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, school is designed to make you think that way, which I understand. Like, we're here for a purpose because, like you said, we have to contribute to our society in some way or other. Um, that's what I want to do, but it's unfair for people to get upset with me for not knowing what that is because, like, I'd rather spend time thinking, really thinking about what I want to do instead of taking a job that I think like everyone hates their job. They're doing it for the sake of
Everybody
getting
hates their
money and
job.
living their life. How good is that life if you don't really value what you're doing with your time? So, like, I'm kind of at a crossroads where like I just need to think of what I want to do, but I also want to spend time placing my values in the right area of my life to know like what I'll end up doing will actually bring me value and like some kind of like you said fulfillment. Um, so I don't know. It's difficult. It's a difficult age to start thinking about these things, but I mean it's necessary. It's part of
Mhm.
growing up. So and I've learned a lot about myself and the way I perceive it. Um, I'm not too stressed out about it. 'Cause I mean, every time I've been anxious in my life about anything going on in the near future, got past it just fine. No reason to be anxious. So I'm not really worried about it in the long run. So I'll be all right.
Yeah. If you care, everything works out
Yep.
in a weird, just out of the blue way.
Just need some waves and a tasty buzz, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it then.
It's really cool though. Like I love, but that I don't know. I've had that for a long time, and I'm very grateful I've had that to
Yeah.
where I just wholeheartedly believe it's going to work out.
Mhm.
And so when people ask me those questions, like, "What do you want to do?" Yada yada yada. Now I'm kind of tired of saying the same thing and it not being accepted
Yep.
when I have ample evidence that it is real, that it's worked out because
Yeah.
it just has, it always has worked out. And a lot of times it doesn't make sense, but it does. And I'm like, look at that.
And I
It
think
happened
having that,
again.
yeah, I think having that mentality is good. And like the goals are so difficult for me to wrap my head around because like your values are bound to change. You don't go through life experiencing the same things and feeling the same way about every situation or every person you encounter. Like things are going to happen. You're going to change as a person. That's where the purpose comes in. That's where adulthood and maturity come in. So I think it's kind of ridiculous for people to have like a 20-year plan laid out. I'm like, damn well, like something could happen next week that messes it all up. It takes one instance for it to all crumble. So I understand why people need something to hold on to. Because I mean, we live in a miserable time, but also like the best time of our society's history. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so
Yeah.
much innovation and like there's so much to be grateful for.
Mhm.
So why not? I don't know. I prefer to focus on the present and like the now, like today. Like, what am I doing tonight? So
What's that? Pull up Kung Fu Panda Turtle Twin.
Kung Fu Panda Turtle Quip.
You know that one?
I don't think so. Off the top of your head.
The I'm not even gonna try. I want the exact thing. It's my favorite. We'll end on that because it's so good. From the great cinematic masterpiece that Kung Fu Panda is.
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
Come on.
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah,
Nice, dude. And on a high note, baby.
absolutely.
Yeah. I think if anyone's listening to this, all your 5 or 10 viewers, I think the key is just to focus on like just what you can do in the now, and know that whatever you're going through, like it is temporary, and healing is the catalyst for maturity, realization. You know, and that's what you're sticking around for. So there is there is purpose behind your suffering, and it is only temporary.
Mm.
It won't be forever.
Mm.
So I think that'll help most people sleep better at night. I know it definitely helps me sleep better at night. So yeah.
That's good, dude.
Yep.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Thanks, bro.
Always love talking to you.
Yeah, man. You too.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for listening. For 5 or 10 viewers that did.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys.